Hello everyone, it's me, Coffee Stitcher. It is May 1st. It's Saturday night. I know I normally do Sunday, but because I missed last week, there's a lot to talk about in this week's episode. So I wanted to be able tomorrow just to dive right on in to my stitching. So I'm recording it a day early. We'll be back to the normal, regularly scheduled update next week. We may still have a little more weirdness, but we'll discuss that shortly. How is everybody? Awesome. So I'm sorry I was not here last week. As I mentioned, I was getting my first COVID shot. I got the Pfizer, and it knocked me on my tuchus. I was basically good for absolutely nothing on Saturday. I pretty much dozed off and on from about 1 p.m. Until Sunday morning. And I still didn't really totally start feeling like myself until Sunday afternoon. It hit me hard. I never had any of the soreness. I felt mostly feverish and achy, and I had my sense of taste was off. My sweet senses weren't right. That was middle of the day Monday before sweet kind of was doable again. So it was a little bit like having the flu without actually having the flu. That being said, I am still very glad I did it. I will be there on the 15th, getting the second one, so I will probably not film on the 16th, because if the first one took me down like that, I'm expecting the second one to hit me harder. So we shall see what happens. But I do encourage everyone to get vaccinated. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Also, thank you to everyone who reached out on my birthday. That was on Wednesday. I'm officially 35. So I'm officially no longer in the desirable demographic for merchandising and marketing. But I'm officially old enough to play Robert and Company, which is pretty awesome, even if I'm not entirely sure I can sing it in the keys that they're written in. I mean, if you let me do it in Patti LuPone's key, I'm solid. That's all I'm going to say about that. So thank you to everyone who reached out, wished me a happy birthday. Today is the start of Mania. The last official Mania with the group. I'm actually not participating. I was looking, when I was making my goals towards the end of week before last, before the COVID shot, and looking at it, I was beginning to feel very overwhelmed and felt like I was doing it I was participating to participate, not because I actually wanted to participate. And so I gave myself permission that I did not have to participate in Mania. I also did not get all of my goals last month, but I'm okay with that too. So it was it was a difficult decision. There's also something very, very exciting that I'll be starting shortly, but I can't say anything about it until the 3rd, so we'll talk about it next week. But it's something very, very exciting, which also sort of made the starting for Mania difficult as well. So, yeah, how's that for cryptic? And that's all I'm going to say about that. Apparently that is my catchphrase tonight. Southern. I'm quite literally drinking chocolate milk, y'all, because it's 10 o'clock on Saturday evening. Out of this really wild glass that we got at IKEA a couple years ago. Look at these animals, and the flowers with eyes, and the two-headed whatever the heck that thing is. I mean, I have no clue what this is, but I really liked the glass. Alright. So, let's dive on in. We've got Q&A. We've got a tiny scotch of haul. There will be more haul, because I got birthday gift cards to spend at Fire Poppies. But first I have to decide what pawn I will be purchasing. We've got Whipgo, we've got regular goals. I am clapping my hands, and I apologize for that, because I know that's a problem for people with some auditory issues, so I do apologize. We got Whip Go. We got Whip updates. We've got a big old finish. We've got planned new starts, but not actual new starts. And then we got a crap ton of quilting haul and almost no actual quilting to talk about. Yay! So, without further ado, let's dive right on in to the Q&A. Sprinklestein Stitches did say that she ordered a couple of ornament packs from Under the Sea and that she does offer neutrals. So for those of you who are curious, there you go. For the people that wanted to see a better picture of Wizard of Oz, that is coming. You'll see that shortly. I did that on purpose because I wasn't through with all of my changes, and I wanted to get it all there so that I could do it all in one discussion versus splitting it into 2 weeks. So that's why you only got the real quick, fast, woohoo! I don't know why I did that like Mickey Mouse, but hey, there you go. Okay, so Amy M121 asks a terrific question. And the people in the comments did sort of answer it as well, but I'll still answer it here. She asks, how do needles make a difference to how much thread you use? And what it is if your needle is shorter, then you're able to get more floss out of it because you don't have to end the thread as soon. Because you can usually, and I think it's not a lot, you're probably only going to get about 3 extra stitches out of it, but in my head, I save a ton. And I do notice that, especially when I work on projects where it's like they list multiple skeins, sometimes I'm able to avoid going into that second skein, and I think it all has to do with the tinier needles. Either that or I just have magic, which I'm also willing to accept, but I'm pretty sure that it's the needles. So that's, and Joanne P. puts it the best. She says, if a size 24 needle is 1.5 inches long and the size 28 is only 1 inch, then you get an extra ½ inch of usable thread when stitching with the smaller needle. Now, that being said, it's less to do with the size, like 24, 28. That's actually related to the eye of the needle versus the length. So where you're really going to notice the difference is going to be your petites versus your regulars. And John James makes fantastic petites. That's basically all I use. They do have some with the gold eye, but really I don't notice much of a difference using the golden eye. Unless we're talking about the N64 game. But I don't think we are. How's that for a dated reference? Robin B. asks, do I have any favorite quilting squares yet, or are you still experimenting? I'm still experimenting. There isn't one I found that I just hate doing. I will say I have learned I would much rather have a pattern that says you're going to cut this to this, make the half square triangle or whatever, and then trim it down, versus you need to have a finished triangle of the half square triangle of this size. Enjoy the math. Sorry, I did the clapping thing again. I don't enjoy the math part. I would rather just not think. I'd rather just be zoop, zoop, zoop with the cutting and the stitching and the finishing. That's just me. All right. And that endeth the Q&A for the week. So, my haul for the week, I got, and this actually I think came last week, but I got one of the fabulous Fabric of the Months. This is from Fortnite Fabrics. Again, I'm doing the Opal Club this year. I'm getting fat quarters of 32 count even weave, and this is Ballet. Whee! Which is a very nice, lovely, it's a little more pink in person than it's showing up on here. It's much more of a pale pink versus a palish pinky purple. But it's very, very pretty. They really do have gorgeous fabrics, y'all. And oh my gosh, they've got a new collection that is coming out shortly. I don't remember what the date on it was, though. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Because it was beautiful, and I'm very excited to order it. Fortnite fabrics. Oh, they actually released yesterday, on the 30th. It's the spring-summer. It's tropical chic. I would try to show you a photo, but it's not going to show up very well because it's off of my iPad. But their colors are anemone, cresting wave, plastic flamingo, sandy bottom, sea glass, and shark fin. So I'm definitely going to be rushing out to get those. Spending some of my birthday money. Great. I wish y'all could see the mound that I have around me, because I was trying to figure out how to structure this, and my craft room almost looks like a nightmare because I did not have space. So I'm very glad to be doing this and getting that out of my hair. The other thing I got was the last of my market haul, at least the pre-orders, because again, apparently I'm a chicken person now. It's Tiny Modernists, Your Own Kind of Beautiful. The chickens and the butterflies and the flowers, and just how fabulous is this? Be your own kind of beautiful. Be, make your own kind of music. Sing your own special song. 5 points to whoever knows who sang that. And if you don't know, look it up, because it's a fabulous song. It's called Make Your Own Kind of Music. Alright. Okay. So, what did I work on? Now, this is in no particular order. I'm going to show you what I've worked on, and we'll go from there. So, first up was the Little Dove Wizard of Oz, also known as Follow the Yellow Brick Road. Let's see. I'm trying to find... There we go. Does it include an actual picture of the pattern, or is it just the pattern itself? It is just the pattern itself. So, let me pop back over to Instagram. Little Dove. Okay, so here is part 1, as charted. At a terrible angle. I do apologize, y'all. Okay, so what I did... Now, first off, this is on 32 count even weave. This is, I believe this is Work Bitch from your favorite and mine, Fortnite. I can tell you here in a second when I find the card that came. Maybe. Yes, this is on Work Bitch. Alright, so here we go. Here is my part 1. Now this one has both a ton and not a ton of changes. So, actually, I'm going to slap the photo back over to the center so I'm not so off-center. Okay, so first things first. I left left a lot of the colors themselves alone. The biggest changes were, first off, I changed the colors in the bubble to 2 different shades of Krynic. I changed the rainbow I used Etoile, and I used fuzzy stuff, and I sort of beefed up the cloud. But overall, everything is basically where it's supposed to be. The biggest, I guess, other change was I took and I borrowed the basket and Toto from the Owl Forest Emerald City. And then I decided, since Little Dove is went for a movie design for it, that I would try and capitalize on that as absolute best I could. And unfortunately, this doesn't show, it's not showing up too well. It shows up much better on Instagram. So I redid a little bit of Dorothy's dress. I modified the ruby slippers. And then I did major modifying to Glinda and her crown and to her wand. And her wand actually uses an embroidery. It uses a woven star and a gigantic French knot. And then there are smaller embroidery stitches in her crown. And then I also left both her and Dorothy, although it's a little harder to tell with Dorothy. I did use 3863, I believe. So both she and Dorothy are meant to be people of color. But there we go. So the next part, and I've got a plan for the hearts going down the side and across the bottom. That I won't share just yet. But I've got a plan. I have a plan. I think I see a spark, a gleam, a glimmer of a plan. So next up, I'm pretty sure is going to be the Scarecrow. I think it's going to go Scarecrow and Tin Man as the rest of the top two. The Lion below Dorothy and Glinda, and then the Wicked Witch, and then the Emerald City. I think based on the little sort of grayed out and what I know of the color scheme of all this, that's what I'm thinking. That being said, so my plan as of now is I'm going to do everything I can to completely go all in for MGM and make them look as much like the film costumes as possible. Glinda provided a unique challenge. You're going to get some little nerdy stuff here, so I apologize if this doesn't interest you. Glinda posed an interesting challenge because there's multiple Dorothy dresses that still exist. And hers, I didn't try and get as close simply because there are smaller bits that just were not going to translate to cross-stitch well. The Scarecrow's costume is at the Smithsonian. I don't know if it's actually out on display currently, but it has been in the past. The Lion's costume still exists. There are good photos of the Tin Man and the Wicked Witch. There's, I think, part of the Flying Monkey costume still exists. But Glinda's dress doesn't actually exist. No one has seen it since the film. Most likely, there's a big push that it's actually a modified version of Jeanette MacDonald's dress from San Francisco in 36. I don't necessarily agree that it's that dress based on the way it drapes and the style of dress. Plus, the Jeanette MacDonald film is in black and white, and we don't have without knowing for sure that it's that one, I'd be very hesitant. However, like most movie studios and theater companies, they reuse what they could. So there is argument that it was modified from the Jeanette MacDonald to be what Billy Burke needed for Glinda. The only good photo of the dress that exists is black and white. And it's from about the hips up. And she used it for her Christmas card that year. So there's not really a great photo of it. So that proved a unique challenge, as well as the fact that if you look at the dress, particularly when you watch the restored film, it's very definitely flesh-toned. It's meant to be ethereal. So that made it a little more difficult to sort of tell, okay, well, what's actually going on in certain elements of it. And then recreating it on teeny tiny scale in cross-stitch. So, I did the best I could. And I'm actually very happy with how she turned out. So, I also used some Krynic in the Yellow Brick Road to make some specialty stitches for the bricks, which I will carry over as well throughout the remainder of the Yellow Brick Road. So, have a nice little tie-in there. Alright, so the next thing that I'm going to show you is chickens, also known as Every Day is a Beautiful Day. This is by, Sandra Cosolino from the Design Connection. It was a kit. I finished Roger the Rooster, which was my goal. My goal for next month is going to be, so I find it on my sheet, 300 stitches. So I'm going to start in on the female chicken that's here. So I really love the way he's stitched up. I love his tail feathers. I'm just digging his whole vibe. Like, this is a really, really, like, super cool chicken. So this is a rooster. So this is what it looks like. There's the hen that I'll be doing next. So that will be my next 300 stitches. And we're going to really hope that next month's whip go, because I don't think 300 will finish out the hen. I really plan to use this one for one of the border ones, and I'm really hoping it's not called next month. But with my luck, it will be. So, that's the plan on chickens for next month. Alright, I worked on quilts. This is from Long Dog. This is on, I believe, Tiramisu from Under the Sea Fabrics with the called for colors. So my plan was to finish sort of the background and fill-in pieces that I didn't finish last month. My goal for this next month will be the zigzaggy border and part of what's under it, and part of the side border too. So, but that's where we're at. I really, really love the weird pinky purple, or the pinky purple orange that shows up very pink on this grass below the big house. I think that's fabulous. I just love these really bizarre colors that are in this thing. Like, they just make me so happy because I am bizarre and colorful. But here's the overall design. So my goal next month is going to be to do the zigzag here and then this part. And then once I've done that, then we've just got, I think this part is also on the page. And then we'll be at a page finish. So it does seem to take about 4 months to do a page successfully. So got a ways to go still on this one. Alright, then yesterday I worked on Woodland Faerie. This is my mirror that I've been working on for almost 5 years. Y'all, I gotta get this thing finished. This is just too long. This is 5 years. So here's where I'm at. So I worked on the wings. I finished, so this is everything that's as high as it goes. That's the top part. I filled in here. I finished all of this part. So I got a lot done. And I realized, apparently, so I'm using someone else's color conversion for the wings, but I had started my own, and I accidentally got my wires crossed. Fortunately, it was a happy accident, because it works. So, all this light purple that's here and in this one, yeah, that was supposed to be DMC 470, not Krynic 026. But it looks pretty, so we're gonna just go with it. We're just gonna go with it at this point. So my plan is to get one good, like, weekend day or day off in on this one. So I don't think I'll finish the wings this month, but maybe next month. Maybe in June. Boy, am I ready to get these wings done. Because I think once the wings are done, her skin should go pretty quickly. And then I just have the leaves and essentially the leaves and the beads. And then I'm done. So I think I can get her finished this year. It would be awesome if I could finish it before the 5th anniversary from the first ever floss... Well, first and I guess the last so far of the floss tube retreats. That would be fabulous. Alright. Then, the big finish. Y'all ready for this? I finished Cloudsfactory's Zodiac last weekend. So after I got over my COVID haze, I managed to eke out a finish because I got enough done on Friday that I was able to get it done on Sunday. So here it is. Again, once again, the frames and such show up so much better in person than they do on camera or on photo. But here it is. At long last, it's done. This is on 36 count. Whimsical Winter from Under the Sea Fabrics. The only real changes I made, I did, obviously, some things had to be changed for the fabric color. I did change all of the star doobies to be Kreineke, and then I took out the gray stitches in the moon faces, because I thought they looked better without it. But there we go. One big ol' finish. So that was a big finish, and partially responsible for so Monday and Tuesday I didn't do a lot of stitching. There were other factors going on, but a finish hole was one of them. So, yay, that's done. Huzzah! That's my dance. Okay, now the next things you're going to see, some of them were, because we're going to talk about our goals, a couple of them I did work on, and I did like maybe 25 stitches and then moved on to something else. So you're going to see a couple where I'm going to say, well, this was updated, but it didn't feel like it was enough to justify a picture or really even telling you all about. So we're going to talk about goals for May. All right, so my WIPGO goals this month, 3 more stitch-along parts, and then 400 stitches on a Christmas whip. So my plan right now is, obviously I've got the Little Dove Wizard of Oz. We're gonna have the Owl Forest Alice in Wonderland, and we're also going to have another one that I've brought out now, coupled along sort of with that. The Christmas one, depending on where I'm at on it, was originally a mystery stitch along, so it could count. So I've got a couple of things that I can play with there. So please be aware of that. All right, so we're just going to kind of go based on what's sitting here next to me. So these are in no particular order. So I did not get to the Hygge this month. I say that. I got that much done out of May. So my goal is to finish out May. So we'll finish May. Woohoo! And the May Hygge, for those of you who may not remember, looks like this. It is a bunny rabbit and some boots and a potting kit and some carrots. So that's May. All right. Baba Yaga, which got some love at work this month, not as much as I had intended, but it got some love. So I did at least, this is by Threadsower, I did finish up the, the broom and the oar, and I also got one of the symbols done below. So I did make some good progress. This is by Threadsower. There we go. But yeah, Oz took me longer, and there were a couple of them that I brought in because I was trying to get sections finished. So my plan this month is to maybe actually get a page finish out of this, or get a quadrant finished. That would be super awesome. And this one's on that one-off that I call Double Chocolate Chip from Fortnite. I'm using all of DMC E5500. All right. Atlantis by Owl Forest. This actually did get worked on, but basically only enough for me to finish out a motif, and then I put it back away again. Because this was in my, oh my gosh, I haven't finished stuff, and this was before I gave myself permission not to reach my goals. So I finished out that top little motif that took me forever. So my plan is at least 2 motifs. I started on this part here, and then I'll go down to the, let's see. Then there's a couple of there's 3 other motifs I could do below that. So here's the full thing. So I started on this little doobie, and then I've got the ones below it. So we're getting there. We're getting there. And technically, I almost could count this one since I am kind of stitching this along with my friend Mandy. It's not quite the same, I know, but I almost could. Okay. Boop. All right. So the Sal that replaces Zodiac. So this is, I'm trying to clear through my abandoned Sals. Is I don't think I've got a full picture of this one. I don't, actually. Okay, so this one is actually a free Sal from Jardin Prive. I'll link it below. It's on a random blue that I had in my stash, and I converted the colors from Nina's over to Gentle Arts. And it's the Way to Happiness. So the plan is to do at least 1, maybe 2 parts of this one. It's a lot of words, and words tend to stitch relatively fast. So I'm actually going to be working on this one tomorrow. But there we have it. The Way to Happiness. So I started this one either in 2017 or 2018. I got the first part done and then never touched it again. But it's in 5 parts. So we shall see. Toss that direction because that's going to go to the living room. Alright, so the Christmas one is going to be that one that I was actually going to work on last month when I thought it was the square that it had been called, but it hadn't been. And that is Lizzie Kate's Spirit of Christmas. And it's the kit, so I'm doing it with all the called for colors and on the called for fabric. So here's where I last worked on it. I did change the verse. The verse that was written, I did not care for. So I changed the verse. Which also meant some mild rearranging of things internally. So I have it that I'm working on. It was 3 parts, so I'm halfway through the second one. My goal is I've got 400 stitches as the goal. I think that will probably finish out part 2. Then depending on what kind of a mood I'm in, I may try to go on and finish part 3. But with any luck, this will actually be done next month. Because I've already got 400, I've already done another 400 on. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Then, the other one I'll be starting is the Owl Forest Alice in Wonderland. Unfortunately, they did not do, like they did with Wizard, where they sort of filled in a chart as they went along. They didn't with this. So here's a lovely blurred image. But part 1 is what came out. So it was, and since this is a free chart, I don't feel quite as bad about showing it. So there's what it kind of looks like. So I'm going to be doing it on, and there will be a floss conversion. I just haven't, so I can't say what yet. So I'm going to be doing this on Charming Autumn from X-Jude Design. I got this through Fire Poppies. This is my first of X-Jude's fabrics, and it's gorgeous. So I think this is going to be a great fabric for this stitch along. So I'm really looking forward to that. Let's see. For While Away the Hours, which is by PetalPusher, which is on the other half of, or other side of Work Bitch. So here's where I'm at on it. I've got I Could While Away the Hours and the bee. And again, this shows up so much better in person than it does on here. It's the one problem when you work on blue with a lighter color is you lose that sort of thing sometimes. So my goal is to finish out the words and the little border and the little flower. So I've got Conferrin with the flowers and then this border and that flower. And then next month as well, I will finish up with the flowers themselves. All right, and then last but certainly not least is my Anne Frank, which is by Gera Designs, and you do have to bear with me because this is a whatchamahoots. It's a Creative Poppies release, so I have to type in my password on it. I'm very strongly considering doing the new Barbara Anna Garden Girl, particularly with what's coming. I think that'll be really cool. But here is the Gera. So this is the full, as it zooms in too much. So here's the full pattern. My plan this month is going to be, it's on a 32 count purple Joe blend that I just had in my stash. Oh dear. I have lost the top half of that needle minder. Where is that? Because I don't want to accidentally lose that needle. Needle minder. Where are you, needle minder? Where are you, needle minder? There it is. Okay. So my goal is, here's where I got on Anne. So I got her finished, and I got her note, diary, and pen. So my plan is to do the table and the lamp, and then the bookcase behind her. And then we'll go from there. Okay. So, that is the goals for this month. Alright, so we're at 40 minutes already, y'all. I knew this was going to be a longer video. So, that is it for the stitching. Questions, comments, leave them, drop them. I love them. If you don't want to stick around for the quilting part, then you're free to go. If you do want to stick around for the quilting part, well, hang on, because we're going to dive right on into that in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, so, quilting-wise, here's what I got. So, and most of these do have a bit of a purpose, as it were. Okay, so first, and I guess the way this needs to be, I closed that, didn't mean to, but I guess I should preface this with, I'm going to be starting the, Joyful Stripes, Quilt-A-Long. It's by Allison Ramsing. I'll link her website below. It starts this week. We're cutting fabric this week. So this is what the pattern looks like. It is pre-cut friendly. and I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. So I had two options. I was either going to do Eleanor's Endeavor or Mill Creek Garden. Both of those are Moda fabrics. Eleanor's Endeavor is... I guess I can go ahead and take this out of its wrapper. So, Mill Creek Garden is by Jan Paddock. Hang on. Ugh. Is by Jan Paddock Quilts. Eleanor's Endeavor is by Betsy Chuchian. I may have mispronounced her name, and if so, I'm sorry, Betsy. And I put it to a vote on Instagram, and and Eleanor's Endeavor won. So here is the different fabrics that are going to be in this one. So I got a jelly roll and I've got a charm pack of it so that I could do either the, and I still haven't decided and I need to. I could either do the small or the large throw with it. The small throw is essentially 52 by 52, which mathematically is about 4.5 feet by 4.5 feet. The larger one is 69 by 69, and it's almost 6 feet by 6 feet. So I haven't decided which I'm going to do. We shall see. But it was one of those things of I had a jelly roll of one, and I had the charm pack of the other. So I ordered the jelly roll of Eleanor, and I ordered the charm pack of Mill Creek. Well, the winner was Eleanor, so I've got a jelly roll and a charm pack of Mill Creek Garden that I will use at some point for something. Then, because I was lazy and didn't, so I ordered yardage. So this is 2.5 yards of Bella Solid Silky porcelain. So I ordered that. But I ended up as well ordering a jelly roll of just cream. So I'm actually going to be lazy. I'm going to save the actual yardage for when I don't have a jelly roll, an easy one like that, where I'm going to be able to do it much quicker with a jelly roll, because that's how this one is going to go. So I've got the jelly roll, and I'm actually going to mix it in, because these are just solids. I've got a white and cream printy mix jelly roll. That was like a junior jelly roll. I'm actually going to mix in some of those. So it's going to actually be half these and then this. So we cut our fabric starting this week. I'm looking forward to that. Then, we're not done yet. We're not done yet at all. I've also got other orders that still haven't come in yet. I got from Missouri Star, and I didn't actually even remember ordering this, but I did, because I looked it up. I did order it. I got the pattern for a Cloud 9 quilt, which is a charm pack quilt. It requires 8 charm packs, though, so I don't know if I will get to that, 'cause I don't know if I'll ever have... now, granted, I know it's charm packs, so I really could mix and match, but none of the ones I've got now coordinate with each other, so, yeah. Let's see, I got a charm pack, well, I say that, and then here's a charm pack that would coordinate with Mill Creek. I got the Prairie Dreams, which is the new one from Kansas Trouble Quilters. It's their new line. I got her charm pack. So, that's what it looks like. It's got some really pretty colors. It reminds me a little bit of it's like a little bit more vibrant version of the Bittersweet Lane. I think that was it, Bittersweet Lane. But I got that. And then, and I've got a pattern in mind for this. They put the very best, the Jelly Roll of It was on sale, so I grabbed it. So I have it, I have a charm pack of it, and I've got a set of fat quarters that kind of coordinates with it. So I've got an idea for a quilt, so I'm excited for that. And that comes from a new book that I got this week with an Amazon gift card, Perfect Quilts for Pre-Cut Fabrics. And it's printed by the Patchwork Place. I will say something I discovered this week is that the if you use Scribed, it's an app that you can subscribe to. It's SCRIBD. If you use Scribed, then you can actually get. I think this is actually the one I was looking at. You can actually access a ton of quilting books, like from Patchwork and from Martindale Press. So I used that as a way to preview books and go, you know what, this is one I actually want, or you know what, there's only like one in here I like. That's not worth me buying the book. So that's actually been a really handy tool for me. Let's see if I can figure out which one it was that I was looking at, just based off of, I sent a screenshot to a friend, because I was like, I don't understand why this does like this. I think it was charm. Pretty sure it was a charm. Because I don't think I looked through the fat quarter very closely. Definitely only skimmed over the fat eights. If I don't find it real quick, I'm gonna not continue with this, because I don't want to bore you all while I flip through a book, because I didn't bother to mark the one I was asking about. Seriously, I can't forget this. Well, it looks like it was a log cabin one of some sort. Yeah, I got no clue. Absolutely no clue which one it was, but it was a really cool looking one, obviously, because I thought, oh hey, I could do this. Okay, this I'm sure is very boring, so I'm going to. Must have been in the jelly roll. Oh, here. Is this it? It is, haha. Okay, so it's called Boxing Day. So that's the pattern I think we're going to use that for. Ha! I'm so sorry I wasted your time with that. Alright. Then, let's see. I got a very lovely and kind gift from Donna. She bought this back, not sure how long ago. It's a Wilmington print. I remember when it came out. It's called Magic of Oz, but it's panels. So it's the full thing. So I've got so many sort of ersatzy Oz fabrics that I really feel like I need to come up with a good like specifically Oz quilt maybe that just uses all of the random ones that I've got. Because I've got this, I've got some of the Riley Blake, I've got that vintage bit, so I I need to maybe come up with something I can do with that. Okay. So I thought that was a very, very lovely gift from her. So thank you so much for that, Donna. All right, and then I got my first Sew Sampler box from Fat Quarter Shop. So this was the April 2021. It was called Town Square. And inside, it came with the start of their new Quilt-A-Long, the first pattern, which is the Bright Side Quilt-A-Long. I don't know if I'll be doing it or not. It came with an explanation of everything. It came with coupons. It came with this really snazzy canvas bag. It came with a label set, so you can personalize these and then sew them in when you do your binding. And then you have a little label for it. And then it came with these 3-inch square and a square quilt block foundation papers. So this is for paper piecing, which I haven't gotten to try yet. Which goes with this pattern, the Starflower quilt pattern. And it was designed by... Who was it designed by? And it gives you the option, you can either do it as 3 table runners or a lap throw. I will do the lap throw. Maybe this doesn't have a designer name. I'm not sure who designed it. But it pairs with Sunday Stroll from Bonnie and Camille, and it came with a little mini fat quarter bundle of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe it's 6. This will tell me. 6. So 6 different fat bundles of from the new Sunday Stroll line. So that was actually really exciting. So it's my first Sew Sampler box. I'm very happy with it. I think it came with some really awesome things. So there is a finishing kit that will be available, and once I can order the finishing kit, because it's not available yet, then I will definitely be doing that Sunday Stroll. And then I did get a little quilting done. Because of everything that had exploded, I literally have not gotten to quilt because I haven't had the space. So these were the last blocks I did for I think these were the last blocks that I did. I think so. I think these were the last blocks I did for Screenshot Samplers. So we've got... And they're all hourglasses. This was not a fun one. I did not enjoy that one. The others weren't so bad. I will say, as much as I'm enjoying the screenshot, I enjoy the Screenshot Sampler, I'm really ready, and that's why I'm excited for this Quilt-A-Long. I'm ready to go on to an actual legitimate quilt now. So, I will come up with something to do with the the blocks that I've made so far. I will probably make others in it, but I'm not going to probably get all 100 done, if I know myself. Because I'm ready to do a real quilt. So, anyhow, that is it for me. So I hope everyone has a great week. This is a really long video, but I hope you'll stick around. You stuck around through it all. If you did, here's to you, and I'll see the rest of you next week. Bye!